Somebody just ate shit. All right, we are live. Welcome to Transparency and Merit, broadcasting live from Los Angeles, California. And
Yes.
it's Saturday already. It's what is it? It's May 30th.
We have stay-at-home orders, folks. This is what is bellowing through our beloved city. Joe and I, we remember this place. We've been to all, probably all, just about all of these eateries. And you wanna get a thing on that cop talking what he's been saying up to or not? But yeah, there's a
to try to protect everyone and to at the same time facilitate the First Amendment expression, to hear what's going on in this current struggle and move forward. But I won't guarantee that we'll be able to control everything. We have mobilized our entire organization. We have a pandemic that this country has not seen in 100 years. We're in the midst of it, and this organization has struggled to provide for the public health and support of the region, and that has taxed us. This is taxing us. So effective immediately, we're mobilizing our entire organization, something we have not done in more than 20 years.
Welcome to the show. We are here.
And you can explain what that means.
We're going to be live streaming a little bit, checking out some of what's happening here in LA. I've seen looters going into the most well-known, expensive. They just looted a Nordstrom's, from what I understand. And
Joe, this is mobocracy at its worst, and I'm just going to get right into it, man.
You do it.
I blame right now. I've known of the anti-racist left for over 30 years, and this is the chickens coming home to roost on this behavior. This is the most vile, rotten behavior I've seen come out of it, but it is awful.
I think it's gonna be much larger than the 92 riots.
I think you're right, and it's going to cost a lot of money. There could be starvation.
Further, the reach is already much larger than the last riots here after Rodney King.
This is Antifa. This is Black Lives Matter, and this is a product of online censorship, because they have had the mainstream media has had the reins for years. Once people started to become wise to it, and then what do? They censor anyone who rebels against the anti-racist left. This is not sensible. And I see post on post on Facebook of people supporting this garbage. It's trash, Joe. And I think, good God, man, I think
our sense of what's going on in the biggest sense is very different. I think the fingers, these are just playing out to me like a government sponsored riot, but I understand the narrative.
Declared a citywide curfew beginning at 8:00 tonight. That's
no matter how you look at it, this is a disturbing display by
right now,
some groups that are.
You know what? I mean, the one thing that we need right now is our First Amendment and our freedom of speech. And look, like, you can't just have one group talking and being able to, there has to be sensibility. And for a long time, the anti-racist left was put in its place. It was called out for what it was. Antifa was losing. And then the groups, and then all of a sudden, the internet and the mainstream media sided with Antifa and basically cut it off. This is wrong. And like, the anti-racist left.
Sorry to interrupt you. Let's hear what this guy's saying
right now. After all, this is Los Angeles. We do set standards of consequence in terms of how protests happen effectively, how law enforcement can respect the rights of those who are engaged in
chat room's already going off
protests.
too. Thank you if you're in the chat room. We are Yes, of course we have prank. No, we have the great Todd Morris. This is not a rerun. Actually,
This ain't no rerun, Todd.
yes, this is from 1992, the LA riots.
Yeah.
Did I mess up the date? Oh no.
Oh, fix it, Joe. What are you doing?
Let's see. What is it? This is oh, I did change it. You changed it back, darn it. All right. Here we go. Sorry about that. It's May 30th, 2020. I'll have to go back and edit.
You can do it now, can't you?
It's fixed. So yeah. When did this start, Brian?
When did the riot start?
Last night, right?
Yeah, they started last night. I mean, all this craziness started last night. And again, these are orchestrated efforts by anti-racist leftists. And this behavior, I mean, it's just like, in any effort to combat this behavior is taken down by the powers that be, because the powers that be are in bed with the anti-racist left, and they let Antifa and Black Lives Matter get away with murder. People say there are a few white supremacists in there trying to stoke the flames. That's a load of garbage. People should start standing up and say, you know, this is why we don't want internet censorship. Because somebody needs to take a stand against this garbage that's happening right now. These aren't noble, good people. And I'm angry, Joe. I'm angry because
is a piece of crap. By the way,
found, but it is not as intense.
He's the Los Angeles County Supervisor.
It is not.
I've been to his office before.
Los Angeles incident. Other differences, I would say, is one significant difference would have to be the leadership of the Los Angeles Police Department as a concrete example. Daryl Francis Gates was the chief of police at that point in time, and it's generally agreed that the police department failed to deal with the issues that they were
It's not a news clip from 92.
Allowed the circumstance.
And just take a look at that screen. This is garbage. And we should have been aware. You know what? I mean, I was aware, you know, in 92, like I was aware in 89 with the Tawana Brawley whole fiasco, that this is garbage. And you people that are supporting it are really brainwashed. And you can't talk to them because the people on Facebook censor you. And then the media, they won't have any alternative opinions on there about this garbage that's happening. You can't talk unless you're a conservative that's kind of milquetoast. You can't talk. Joe, I'm furious. You know, these are places that we've all been to. We've been to Hollywood. We've been to, the different movie theaters, the different restaurants.
Wow, what is going on here? Look at these. This woman's walking up to the cops. You got to close your Discord, man. It's just you got to change your settings in there.
Let me close it. Sorry. Let me just close my Discord. Quit Discord. Hopefully that'll do it. Hopefully if I close it, that'll do it. So I closed my Discord down. Sorry, folks. But this is outrageous. This kind of thing is wrong. And anyone supporting this crap is wrong. And I saw so many people out there. And you know what? Like I said, poverty and starvation could come next.
Oh, you're in trouble now.
Yeah, I mean, but this is awful, Joe.
and it's happening everywhere. We're seeing it in Louisville, Detroit.
Well, the law, you know what I mean? You know, in the powers that be will either come down or they won't. But I'm hoping that there's a conservative wave in this country because the left is destroying our nation.
Oh, let me see this video here. I got some audio that might be good. Let's see if it's any good.
We're seeing some more live video of some of these riots that are taking place in Los Angeles because that's where me and Joe are from. Oh, that's the same. There it is. Okay, and this is Detroit.
Let's hear.
Oh, Louisville, Kentucky. I mean, this is all over the country, but why don't we just continue to focus on I mean, pretty much LA, I think, you know, but
because there's a conversation going down at the bottom of the screen. I thought they were playing it. They're going all over the country, so I just wanted to see some perspective on what's going on everywhere.
Virus failed, back to racism. I mean, you look at this garbage, man. You look at this trash that's happening. It's not good. And I don't know what we're going to do. I don't, like I said, because the internet censors us when you talk about this issue, but this is a plague. This is a plague upon the nation. These are college campuses, and these are metastasized in every business. This kind of social justice crap that will lead to third world poverty.
This is all live happening right now throughout the country.
We've allowed for narcissism. This is emotional nonsense. And like I said, I find it hard to believe how many people are giving into this kind of thing.
Is to bring calm to the environment, bring order, is the entity that's the target of the ire.
There's your
that relates to the history
in the background there
of police misconduct and violence, and it is not just the most recent example.
I'm familiar with all these stores they're going into right now. It's unbelievable.
This is fully compounding.
This is awful, man. I'm furious. I'm furious.
Who have then been unarmed, largely African American, and found.
Cut them off, dude. Right. I don't want to hear that. There's no excuse for this crap. None.
Right. And so it's a big issue, not a small one, and we've got to come to
come on, man. Turn him off. Turn the guy off, man. He's full of nonsense. Talking about the same garbage. There's no excuse for this crap.
Going down Fairfax Avenue.
Yeah. No excuse for this garbage. We gotta, you know what, dude? I mean, I want to go down Fairfax Avenue and ask them, hey, man, we want to talk to some of these store owners who've had their stores torched and burned. This is absurd. This is absurd. This is wrong.
We both got a alert on our phones about 20 minutes right before we went on. We both got alerts. It was basically Los Angeles went under a curfew starting at 8 p.m. tonight in 30 minutes. So things may get interesting at about 8 o'clock when there's still people out on the streets. Then you have these, look at this protester walking right up on the police. Probably some ridiculous sign she's holding. Who knows? I heard that out on the street that it's really confusing. And you and I have been to a couple protests on much smaller scale. Nothing like, wow, look at this guy's denting the hood of that car. We've been to some of these to protests in LA, and this sounds like the same thing from what I've heard so far. That what the people are experiencing is that there's no unity. And there's a bunch of different factions, all kinds of different groups that are gathering and are basically trying to make a name for themselves which is crazy. It's just disturbing. And here you got some looters right now. I'm sure Todd Morris is in there trying to get a TV, but it looks like they've just grabbed a bunch of items from a store, and there they go, up in the air.
Yeah, this is mobocracy. This is mobocracy at its finest, and I'm going to say it again. This is the anti-racist left. I'm talking about being anti-racist and against racism. This is the social justice anti-racist left. They are perverse. They are foul. They are nasty.
Oh, so they're going to dump a trash can. Wow, what
There
are they
you go.
What are they going to do with that? Oh, why is the camera going out? What are they doing? Ooh. Yeah, there's all kinds of action going on here. Whoa, things are on fire.
Done so much to serve us, and we should always demand.
Eric
more and better
Garcetti is on the
policing, and we
phone
should
now.
always
The
speak
mayor
out
of Los
against the sort of,
Angeles.
incredibly racist and incredibly heartbreaking
Here's your
actions we
anti-racist
saw in
left
Minneapolis and
talking.
demand justice. But when that happens in Minneapolis with 4 officers, to take it out on the streets of our city is setting us all backwards. So we will not only have our LAPD officers, we have mutual aid with other agencies around us, and if they need our support and we need theirs,
Eric
we can call on
Garcetti
that.
is so
And I've asked the
ineffective
governor
as a leader.
This is, you know what?
Listen, I know the county
Hopefully, you know what? The people with money either get out
to help us
or get in a law and order mayor, because this is outrageous. We need to bring back 3 strikes. This is wrong. This is wrong.
Do you remember a day when we had a good mayor in Los Angeles? It's been a good 30, 40
Well,
years.
I Reardon, but I mean,
Reardon was the last good mayor we've had.
I mean, this is awful. I mean, it's terrible. I'm so angry, right? And I'm angry less at the rioters, because you know what they're going to do. This narcissistic behavior is going to do what it's going to do. A lot of them were promoted. They've been fueled by the anti-racist left. Our school fuels this crap. I mean, look at this. These are not good people. Awful human beings.
It is in America still. But we've gone through this. We're not a better city. We're a more resilient city, though, because long before George Floyd, there was Rodney King, before we even had camera phones. We had a Christopher Commission. We've hired a department that looks like this city. We've given everybody implicit bias training to get to the root of the prejudice. All of us hold de-escalation training, which I saw officers using last night in downtown with such courage. But this isn't just about policing. You cannot have a society that is about disorder, and you cannot have a society that casts people aside. We should be fighting COVID-19, celebrating our steps.
So we got some comments. Are you looking at the board? Mr. White is here. He says YouTube censors you. Yeah. What about Twitch? I don't know. Twitch has guidelines. They have a lot of guidelines there for sure. They're very strict. And what about Facebook? Yeah, of course, Facebook. But did you invent the term anti-racist left?
I may have. I may have invented that term, but that's a term that I believe in. I believe because they're part of the left, and they always claim anti-racism, and they are horrible. Look at this garbage, man.
And I think you did. In fact, you've come up with a lot of terms, but the anti-racist left is. I don't think a lot of people talk about it.
Yeah, but it's awful. This is terrible. This is an
They don't
awful.
They don't talk about it because they'll get censored.
Yeah, that's true.
And we are nearing the 8 o'clock curfew, so I expect things will get a little bit crazy, but hopefully it'll be calm and people will just go back and get off.
I mean, this is awful. This is awful. We need people with discipline.
Shut down Rodeo Drive earlier because they thought that this might happen, but I wanted to show you what the Gucci store looks like here. Most people have left the area, just still a few people here. Says Justice for George, and you can see just kind of deserted really down here with some stores.
We need law and order.
Then just a look further up where we saw
this kind of criminal behavior.
He was up there at Santa Monica Boulevard and Rodeo. So I tried to get you as close as I could to Gucci, which was broken into, but I can tell you, Mark and Ellen, that there was merchandise that was full at the Gucci store. So we know that it was restocked with these stores planning on opening. There's someone down there banging on the glass that's already broken. That's why I walked over here to Brighton and Rodeo. I'm on Rodeo between Brighton and Dayton. And just to give you a sense of what things look like behind me, Beverly Hills Police, they have a pretty good blockade of the streets around here. It really looks like a ghost town. And then you still see some shops in the distance, and they are boarding up here. And where that Gucci store was, they actually did board up the store, but that was after looters were able to access that Gucci store. But again, I looked through the windows and I saw tons of merchandise sitting there. So we're not exactly sure what was taken, but as we've been reporting, these stores were full of merchandise because they had already opened or were so excited to open. And now a much different.
This is awful.
Crowds.
This is awful.
I just want to try and zoom in.
Jesus Christ, dude. California, good Lord. I don't know why anyone with any sense, if this continues, would want to be here. If there's not a turnaround against the left, you need to leave that city because these places are unlivable. You cannot support this kind of mobocracy. College campuses have to be places of free speech and stopping the mob. You can't have that anymore. That has to end. It has to end. No more. Stop giving in to Black Lives Matter and Antifa. And that's what these social media companies are doing. That's what these college campuses are doing. This is all Marxist leftist crap. Just garbage. This is just narcissism, man. This is what Alison Margolin says. Not saying anything about police brutality and systematic oppression of Black people in America that started our country and continues unabated through today in Los Angeles, with cops hitting protesters with batons on Fairfax, is a conspiracy of silence. That's what the fires are about. To say nothing and do nothing is to allow it to happen. Watch riots, Rodney King, George Floyd, and thousands more we Angelenos have heard about, know about, have seen. The daily brutalization by the government because the police represent and are the enforcement mechanism of the government. The city of Los Angeles, in fact, needs to stop. This is a Harvard-educated lawyer. I'm just oh man. Okay, Joe, do you have any comment? Because I am seething with blood rage.
Going on up and down these streets. These aren't big, if this is some kind of anti-capitalist statement or whatever it is they're trying to make, they're not going to make it by looting mom and pop type establishments. They're not going to make that statement or make that point by looting a guitar store. So what we're seeing here in this instance on this street is just wanton destruction of property and people's livelihoods.
That's what it's going to turn. That's what it's going to degrade into. No points being made, and they're true. I mean, what good is it to raid and strip a Gucci store of its merchandise? What point is that making? They went after all the stores that sell the clothes that you see in modern pop and rap and R&B music videos. So all those stores carrying the popular clothing just got demolished today. Now, what are you working on there? Are you tweeting?
I just said something to.
Yeah, I did. I was actually
there must
there
be some
earlier,
people that
but some folks that were
want
in
to
this area
talk to
came
you
back,
that are
and that's
out
when Beverly
there.
Hills police
I can't help
converged on them, and they're further down the street trying to get them out of.
Can't help thinking that
I think we need to start getting some guests on here to talk about this crap.
Indeed,
as there's really no one around here right now, and it's safe for me to get a little closer
that Gucci
than
store.
I was earlier. So as I walk a little closer, you see Justice for George. This was boarded up, but after looters were able to get inside, and they got in through the front door. But you can also see that
in jail.
You guys
humiliate them.
Broken, and then through the store there, you can see some handbags and some merchandise, and that is kind of what the scene is like right now here out in front of the Gucci store. We know that there are reports that some other stores, looters did gain access to that, but right now in this area that I'm at,
yes, everybody hashtag anti-racist left
is the one that looks like has the most damage visible here. But what's kind of bizarre about all this is clearly some of the stores weren't able to board up as quick as others. You see Prada there. Prada's boarded up. These workers here have been.
What is the anti-racist left?
The anti-racist left is just a.
Who are you talking about?
It's basically it's a group of it's a mind thought. It's a large collective of people who believe in the phony white supremacy, and everything that conservatives do is racist because since they're part of the left, and they use racism for everything to include the shutting down of speech, and this is what it is, and this is awful,
right? Well, when you start hearing that in mainstream headlines, make sure you give Brian a pat on the back.
Well, I'm watching right now. Someone tried to take an AR-15 from a police officer on my YouTube channel. I mean, on the Thing channel.
Where did that happen? What state?
I'm watching in Washington.
Oh, there we go. We got that here.
Yeah.
Wow, look at this standoff going on here in Washington. you know, if they feel threatened for anything, this could erupt very quickly. All it takes is one. I would imagine that tensions are extremely high there right at this moment. What is this guy doing? Wow, New York. Here they go. They're starting to mobilize. Here they go. Let's see how they react.
Now,
I think they're
Joe,
back
if you look at my tweets, can you see my Twitter because I just tweeted this out. And I'm looking. It's not showing up though. Like as a full, like the full show is not even showing up. Like when I go to my tweets, it's only showing up.
Just giving you the link.
I'm just. It's only because usually the whole page shows up, but it's not showing up on you on that anyway. I'm going to put this on Minds right now too. If everyone can hashtag anti-racist left.
Yes, everybody should do that. I'm gonna do it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Darn it. Of course, Twitter's freezing up my whole computer. Damn it. Damn it, Brian.
And we're looking at it now, folks. I can't breathe. What a bunch of nonsense. And it's just, I just want to make sure, I want people to be aware what's going on right now, how bad this is, how awful this is, how bad these people are.
All right, let's do a tweet right now. Hashtag anti-racist
left.
And what do you want me to? What message do you want to put in there?
You know what? Why don't we go? We're doing a show on the riots, and we're giving our perspective. Hashtag anti-racist left. And I'm going to go on my other Twitter accounts here as well.
I'm putting this on the OTM web Twitter right now.
Okay. I've already tweeted that out, but you can do it again if you want to.
Yeah, why not? Oh, shit.
On the riots.
All right. It's LA is kind of quiet in some areas.
They sure are.
Because there were some people still hanging around that the police department wasn't happy with because they were trying to get back into Gucci. So that is just a scene here, surreal, in the downtown Beverly Hills shopping district. And feel free to ask me anything. I have some time. I'm just going to walk a little bit further down Rodeo, closer to the Beverly Wilshire.
Josh, are any of the shop owners or operators or managers anywhere near you right now? Have any of them commented about what they're dealing with?
That's really not something that I've seen out here, Mark. I have seen a lot of crews boarding up these businesses, a truck going by right now. And I wonder how much of, sorry, there's a police officer about to go by me. And I'm not sure how much these are the businesses that are paying to board up or the city of Beverly Hills, but they jumped on that Gucci store because we had reports probably an hour or so ago that was being looted, and you can see it's already boarded up. As I walk with you guys a little bit further down as we're approaching Rodeo and Dayton Way, and in the distance is the Beverly Wilshire Hotel. And it's also just bizarre to be walking.
And there are
in the middle of
helicopters
Rodeo.
everywhere in the city. They're going over my house every couple minutes.
Part of Beverly Hills, which we know has been quiet because of the pandemic, but to see it this shut down and graffiti everywhere. The Burberry store sign, it says Burnberry, and just a lot of profanity written, and I'm seeing just a lot of anti-capitalism and sentiment against these designer boutiques here in Beverly Hills.
Well, hardly the reopening they were expecting for this weekend, those shop owners. But Josh, we're gonna check right now. We're gonna leave you and check.
All right. You have anything else you wanted?
No, let's just keep taking a look at some of these. Look at this.
Not far from that fire near Spalding, that vacant storefront that we showed you.
Unbelievable. Hey, I'm gonna turn on a light real quick, Joe, and then I'm gonna continue with my bloviating. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna turn off the cam. So I want to turn on a light real quick because it is getting dark in here.
Are trying to pry open that safe. That's a guess on my part. Obviously, you can see there's a lot of people that are.
Looks like another loot drop there.
That they're using a crowbar.
Please hashtag anti-racist left.
Just heard.
You know, if these things pick up enough traction, LA's in a world of hurt.
Is taking place just up the block where we showed you next to the Adidas store a couple of seconds ago. Again, to reiterate, this is Melrose Avenue and Fuller Avenue, where not just that nail salon, but a lot of these other stores.
Are you kidding me? What are they getting? They're getting like hair supplies? Wow.
Melrose is now rampant.
And they're running.
Oh, here they go. They're busting into a store now. Look at this.
Those gated windows, but
this guy thinks he's going to kick a gate in.
Look at the guy with a hammer. Two guys with hammers right there at the door. How close can we zoom in?
Oh my
on
goodness.
these?
Where's Don Lemon tonight?
A hard time. He's going to go for that.
Oh, he's out there.
Armed with hammers. They're going. There it is. There goes the lock.
Wish we had some Don Lemon right now.
Probably the door. So here's just another example of
this guy's hitting the door with a hammer. Unbelievable.
Violence and looting here along Melrose.
And that's obviously just a mom and pop store that has been hurting.
Absolute worst thing I've ever seen.
Smashing the windows.
Why would you,
right now appears to be preoccupied.
Why would you do this to a local store? I mean, these guys people have no brains, but we knew that.
Officers that were preparing to make an arrest. Looks like, let's go back to that. Go back to the safe because I have a feeling
it's stupid these people are. Wow.
The safe that I believe.
Oh my goodness.
Or an
It's an
ATM.
ATM.
It's an
They're
ATM.
looting a nail spa and more. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Serve them right. I hope it's empty.
Yeah, good luck.
Some of these businesses have managed to board up, but obviously
they're cutting open a mailbox. What is that? That's not. Whoa.
Months ago, this is the last thing you.
Oh, it's looks like a ATM from the store.
I mean, there we go, dude. Look at this crap.
It's got. Look what he's hitting this ATM with.
The ATM's going to survive, but look at the business.
Look at this garbage. Look at this garbage.
This
hey, by the way, guys, Twitter is kind of censoring me. So if any of you can tweet this show out and share it on Facebook, and just help us out here, because look, this. If you think this kind of thing is the way to deal with problems, you are wrong. You're wrong. And those of you who want to stand up against this kind of thing, I don't care if you're for liberal policies or conservative policies, this is wrong. This is wrong. And this is also, I think, the lack of freedom of speech in this country, and the fact that we can't even talk to one another. And this is going to lead to poverty. And those that believe in things like this, I think, God, we've been down here before, right, Joe? Round two, man, of the vintage. We've been to all the Happy Ice, Happy Ice. We've been to all these places, man. It's like we used to go here at least once a week. We'd go down and just mess around here. It's just
This was the hood right here. This place where I used to go hang out.
yeah.
It's pretty much going to get.
Look at this.
now.
Look at this. Look at this stuff, man.
I did just tweet to Todd Morris, so I should get a link. Yeah, Japan, LA. I guess they want those. Wow, look at them just trying to get this gate down.
You know something, guys? You're really, look. I mean, you know what?
This is in teamwork. Wow.
This is awful.
They just put the ATM in the bed of that pickup truck. Wow, that looks safe. I mean, that looks like they're going to get away with this one.
Who knows? I think the FBI is going to be called. I think there are going to be federal marshals. I mean, this is awful. And like I said, this is a byproduct of the, I would even say this is perhaps even a byproduct of the deep state. This is terrible. This is terrible.
No license plates.
Oh my God. Unbelievable. Unbelievable criminal. I mean, this is criminal behavior.
Wow. Did you see that?
I mean, I'm looking at this right now, and I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted.
Oh, they got the door out. Now they're going into this Japan USA store or whatever it is.
Jeez, I mean, this is awful. This is third world nonsense. Martial law needs to happen. This is awful. This is garbage. It's not so easy to rebuild.
I don't think we're at martial law level yet.
I think we need to be.
The police haven't done a damn thing. They haven't done anything.
They need to start arresting these individuals. This is awful.
Listen, all the police need to do is be there and then make it go away. These people are
they're already there.
They weren't, and they're letting it happen. So they need
to collapse of moral society.
Let's talk about taking this over and conquering it locally before you start calling for martial law. Martial law is some serious business.
We need it.
Oh boy, look at these stores.
We need it.
Oh boy.
This is awful. This is terrible. This is the anti-racist left. And usually, look.
Wow. Look at that. They're driving right by them. All these things are happening. The cops aren't approaching any of them.
This is awful.
What is going on here?
Food and the food supply and other things like that, man. The economy is fragile, and the economy and the food supply are fragile. You guys are awful. You leftists are terrible. You're terrible. What's this guy saying?
This guy looks like your homie.
Maybe he is. Let's see.
Time, and this is coming during a period where our intergroup relations, our race relations, and our socio-political relations are more frayed than they've been in decades.
And Levin also says that
you're not bringing anything together, dude.
Splintered, we've seen in decades that we're more entrenched in that polarization than ever before, and that's apparent.
Yeah, and what the police chief alluded to that before. He said that it appears there are organized groups that are part of this unrest that are taking advantage and who are using it for their own ends, and it could be the left.
Angela says, "Shut up, Brian. This is not the left." I think
it is the left, Angela. You're wrong.
You are live.
I think you're mistaken, Angela.
I don't sound like a woman. I sound like a man.
That building on the corner there. And here's
come on, bring it, Angela. You sound pathetic.
Angela, you're horrible.
Angela hasn't made a good point in 10 years.
We're back over Fairfax.
This is the left. What are you talking about? This is all leftist nonsense.
This is
Stop trying to hide it. This is the left.
Trying to put that fire out. Actually, that's actually a new fire. If we widen out, you can see there's a skirmish line about a half a block away, and they are behind a trash fire in the middle of the street.
There's
so
a Fairfax High School.
Closer than they were. They've bypassed some of the other looting right past John and Vinny's and making their way further north on Fairfax.
Wow.
Again, about a half block from where that. Yeah, I think that might have been a shoe store. You're right, Mark. They're trying to get a little closer there. Actually, this group of officers. Okay, so there was 2 skirmish lines.
All right,
this group
Brian.
of officers is facing.
Yes, I'm tweeting this out. Quiet.
Some of these folks in. They've boxed.
Silence.
Okay, they've boxed in a group of looters.
Brian.
Yes.
Come on.
Hold on.
Make some points.
I'm making points here. I'm tweeting this out.
Fake Californians. What does that even mean? Angela, you're going to get kicked out because you suck. Absolutely.
Angela, you can say whatever you want. I let you have free speech, and I will rip. If you ever called, I will rip you apart.
I dare you, Angela. Not with your horrible internet, though. This is the left. The Rube Goldberg machine says this will get Trump reelected in a massive landslide. Who's Rube Goldberg machine?
Who's Rube Goldberg machine? Where's that?
He's in the chat room.
But I don't see him. But this might. The thing is, who knows what's going to happen? But these people are supporting this garbage. And Angela, look. Oh, Angela wants to call. Is your Skype on?
Well, she's got to call in. Let's go.
Call in. The police are all over the place. This is horrible.
There's our phone number if you do want to call in.
This is terrible.
Call in and tell us how terrible.
Look at this garbage. Look at this garbage.
What kind of awful things are you seeing in your neighborhoods?
Look at this trash.
This is what we're seeing, and it isn't pretty.
And yeah, these are horrible people. These are terrible people. These aren't noble or good people. These are the worst. And these people don't want to, these anti-racist leftists, usually they do not want to engage because they know what they are is garbage. And somebody says this country was founded on a riot and nearly all progress came from riots.
Rube Goldberg machine says, I bet all those looters are registered Republicans.
How could he say? What chat room is that guy on? Who is that person?
He's in our YouTube.
Is that Howard? I don't even. Oh, I see.
Goldberg.
Yeah, I doubt it. Well, Rube Goldberg.
Rube Goldberg.
I think that's somebody. I think that's a troll, but that's fine. You know what? We allow it on our podcast, on our station, on our vlogcast. We allow that kind of thing, but we see the people at the rooftops.
Except for we're gonna kick her out. No, we're not. I'm not going to kick you out, but you should be.
Goldberg is not right. You're wrong, lady. You're wrong, lady. Let me just say this real clear. This is the left. This is the anti-racist left that has promoted this nonsense. Look at this crap. They need to go to jail. And they need, we need to start making jail harder. Some of them need, hey, for a while be denied food. And then you'll appreciate where the food comes from. Because you can cause starvation with this kind of crap. This is awful. Whether they vote or not, man, this is garbage. This is trash. And the left is going to, you know what? They're going to want to censor more.
Uh-oh. What's going on here?
Remaining looters here are on their knees.
Whoa!
Most of them with their hands on their head, and
This, you know, like I said, dude,
it's going to take a little time, but they will be taken into custody unless they can sneak out the back.
They need to be taken into custody for a long time. They need to be, like, if they're found guilty, it's horrible.
The LAPD
About 25 minutes.
In response to looting that has broken out in this area, the Melrose area of Los Angeles. Melrose goes between LA and West Hollywood, and what we're seeing here is some of these smaller stores being looted. There was a shoe store there. We want to talk too about what LA Mayor Eric Garcetti told us just a few minutes ago. He's called on Governor Gavin Newsom to deploy the National Guard to Los Angeles. Some 500 National Guard troops will be on their way here. He told us it takes about 7 hours at minimum from the request to get here. So we're not sure exactly when they do get here, but they will be here. And what we're being told is that they'll be in kind of a support role. They will be there to support the police.
Ooh.
And that they will help to try to restore order. The LAPD, 9,000 officers, that's all for a city of 4 million people. And on a typical day, they would be that level of policing manpower would be perfectly acceptable and fine. But on a situation like this, it is not enough. They need some help, and they're going to get it from Governor Newsom. Also,
wow.
We are now 3 minutes into a citywide curfew.
And I don't think they're adhering to it. Looks
Curfew
like from the looks of
is
it doesn't matter to them. We did speak with former LA County Sheriff and former LAPD Commander Jim McDonnell a little bit earlier, and here's what he had to say.
They're human beings. They put on a helmet and face shield and ultimately get out there and take whatever comes their way.
What?
Allison Margolin just okay. I'm furious at her right now. I mean, this Allison just said to reduce police violence to start, ex-felons need to be able to open carry firearms immediately, and we need a law allowing every present in the United States to defend themselves against unlawful police action resulting in the threat of their lives, which needs to be loosely construed. That is horrible. Why would I want to join the FBI? Foodie, maybe. Okay, I'm reading the comments here. I mean, Allison, this is a Harvard-educated lawyer from Beverly Hills High. This is even intelligent people can be brainwashed by the anti-racist left. This is horrible. This is horrible. And I'm you know what? I'm getting upset myself. But I think it could be Debbie, though. But to reduce police violence to start, okay, I'm just, all right. And then maybe, okay, this person says, you're right, this is kind of the guns. Guns are more of the problem. Maybe they've been right. Level the playing field. A well-armed society is a polite society. And yes, I've often been told that when I was in high school, more than half of the students owned vehicles in parking lots and had shotguns and deer. Okay.
The viewers right now, and you can join us on ABC 7 for continuous coverage. And appreciate you joining us there on Channel 7. But right now, we're going to go to Carlos Granda. He is in Beverly Hills, and we've seen that's a site of looting as well, and a lot of protesters there. Carlos?
He's wearing the mask.
Protesters here. We're at the corner of Beverly Drive and Santa Monica, and behind me, the police have set up. This is where they're making their stand to make sure that no one goes into the area of Beverly Hills. They're doing the same thing just a block over on Rodeo. And let me show you what's going on. If you can see over there in the distance, well, you can see some people here. But over there in the distance, they've been setting off fireworks. There's a huge crowd that they want to go into Rodeo Drive, and they're not being allowed because the cops are blocking them. And right overhead is a sheriff's helicopter just announcing that this is the sheriff's department asking people to leave. But people here are shooting obscene gestures at the helicopter. There you hear some of the firecrackers or some kind of explosive device, but it doesn't seem like something dangerous. It's just something
they're
to
out
make
there
noise.
to scare
Again, they have
the Beverly Hills
helicopter
people,
overhead,
I guess.
telling people to leave. People are not doing that. They're obviously cursing at the helicopter, cursing at the police that are here, and just standing here in the park, right here at the park here that's just on the north side of Santa Monica Boulevard, just hanging out, waiting to see what's going on. And that's what we're doing as well, to see what's going on here right now.
Angry. And I'm like, I don't want to be
running in one direction or the other when they see police coming in one direction or the other. But other than that, they're pretty much staying here, possibly waiting to see if they can go into the area of Beverly Hills. But again,
Susie, yes, I can. I can blame the left for this, Susie. It is the left.
And they're certainly not going to
anti-racist left.
Over, you can see that this is where they've set up all.
This is what they taught you in college, Susie.
They're blocking anyone from going in. Back to you guys.
Carlos, we're going to have to see an aerial shot at Beverly Hills because earlier there were a lot of people in that area, but it doesn't look from these shots that there are that many protesters at this particular area.
Well, we're in an area which is just a block, right between Beverly Drive and Rodeo. I mean, there could be in other areas. We just haven't been able to get around because the police have blocked off all the streets, so we haven't been able to move around too much. But if we keep going in this direction, occasionally you'll see some firecrackers go off, some, burst into the air of some lights, and then you hear a bang, and that's about it. But the people are just standing around here. There's a crowd here in the park. Again, yes, not as much as earlier for what I saw from Air 7, but again, there's still some people here just waiting to see what happens. And police, again, have the entire area blocked off so no one can get into the area with all the stores and all the high-end shops.
Boy, this news is so inflammatory and
although they were able to get into some
unhelpful.
Of we noted the Gucci store and a couple other stores.
Earlier,
they were able to at least keep it at bay and not have too many stores destroyed.
Now, it's a bit of a chaotic scene because people keep coming over the hill, then they get here, and then they see what's going on, that they can't move anywhere.
This is an area where I've had lunch about
people in the street, so the cars are backed up. So it is
thousands of times, right at this intersection.
Sure exactly how many people.
What was your favorite place to go to, Joe?
I love their I mean, I know there's more than one, but there's a coffee bean and tea leaf there, right down the street from this intersection, and I love hanging out there. I used to do it all the time for years.
Well, there is a
and
curfew, including the city of Beverly Hills.
But some of the restaurants, I think there's a Mastro's down there. If I'm not mistaken, there's a Dan Tana's. I've been there. That's pretty wild. Ruth, is it Ruth Chris? I think there's a Ruth Chris down there too. I've been there. So yeah, there's a lot of. It's a good area to hang out in. Not right now though.
To keep the streets clear and make it available so that emergency vehicles can move from place to place, and that it's easier, frankly, for police to weed out those who are intent on causing trouble. But that citywide alert
I can't believe what I'm seeing.
The National Guard is on its way to the city of Los Angeles. And also we are hearing that the county of Ventura County is sending 40 of its sheriff's deputies to the Los Angeles area to help out as far as manpower is concerned to deal with this situation. We're not sure where those deputies will end up going, but there are plenty of places where they're needed.
They certainly have a lot of manpower right now, and you're looking at live pictures right now. Those people are going to be under arrest. They have to, I guess, mobilize. I think there's the bus behind that skirmish line, I believe. They have to get these people all in the handcuffs and get them out of there.
Mm-hmm. And that's part of the problem here, because remember, again, we talked about the coronavirus, COVID-19, that's an overlay of all of this. The jails, they can't just, they're trying to keep the population of the jails to a minimum because, of course, there have been cases in the LA County jails and in the different locations there. And so you can't just.
All right, I'm just answering some chats here. Susan said that this administration
with a bunch of people who are.
Give me a break, Susan.
Has destroyed this country, and I think that is the most ridiculous comment because to me, all the presidents have had their hand in leading us into the moment where we're at.
This is what people are taught in college, that they are victims and that the outliers are the norm. You know, one police officer does a bad thing. Does that make all of them? You know, people say, why don't we stop racism and why don't we stop police brutality? Why don't we stop rape and murder too while we're at it?
Then they have to take them in, arrest them, book them, and
look at this
system, because
look at this garbage.
Strain on the resources of the city and county, which have already been strained by the pandemic.
This has been going on for years.
Where are they going to take this guy?
We've allowed this to happen. We give mercy to these criminals, and we, you know what?
I'm sorry,
and the left is controlling the culture.
He's over the scene there.
Yeah, so they have begun.
And we can have no standards anymore. And I'm sick of it.
It's a slow, methodical process.
I'm sick of it.
Ready. They're basically lining up on the curb there.
Do I believe this is real? Are you kidding me? This is. I couldn't think any more differently than Brian does on this matter. I couldn't be any more further from thinking this is happening the way Brian has sat there and explained for the last hour.
Well, he thinks the riots are happening.
Well, you know what? I live in Los Angeles, and I've been through one of these, and people are busting windows and walking into stores and taking shit. So, yeah, what's not real about that? That's real. What I question is how this has turned into what it is. And I, you know, it's just a fundamental way of my thinking that this is all, you know, and I'm not going to go down a certain road because I think it could lead to some censorship. But if I was on my own website right now, if I was on a closed recording, what I would tell you would be inflammatory to you, because not to you, but to most people listening, because I just don't buy into a certain narrative, and that's fine. You know, I can't, I'm not going to go there because, and I'll tell you why. Two of my favorite podcasters here and content makers here on YouTube, two of them this week had their channels taken down.
Hey, someone just called me obsessed.
Hold on. I'm making a point. No. Did you just say rioters in the valley? No. Rube? Who is this Rube? I gotta find out. That's fun. That's a funny comment.
Hey, what's the phone number? 310. 310. What's the number?
You don't know?
310-668.
Yes. Here we go. It's up there now. It's posted. Look up.
No, I got it. 1969.
So yeah, Rube Goldstein. I don't know. I haven't checked on the Valley yet. I'd be shocked.
So I asked that dude to call in. He's a punk, though. He's probably a punk. He won't do it because he's a little scared little girl. Most leftists don't want to talk, you know. But you know, let's have it out.
So
you know, hopefully this punk will call in. This leftist punk who who is
Who are you talking about?
someone that one guy, that redneck white and blue guy. Let me see who this guy is. He won't call in though because you're a scared little girl. Like I'm obsessed. Well, call in. Say it to me. Call in and say that I'm obsessed. Go ahead and tell me. And I'm obsessed with saving my country from poverty and myopic and foolish behavior. Yeah, I'm obsessed about that. You damn right I am. You damn right I am, dude. This is garbage. And I'm pissed off, man. The left downplays everything. He won't, because he's a coward. We'll give him a few more minutes, and then I'll but he's a coward. He's a baby and a coward. He ain't gonna do it. He's a punk and a coward.
Ain't gonna do it.
No, he ain't gonna do it, man.
Oh, I gotta stop.
Gonna do it.
I can barely. I can't even keep my eyes open.
I think he got tear gassed.
But yeah, we saw people running toward us, and there you see the
It's
clouds.
awful, man. This is awful.
Right, but the tear gas.
And I'm pissed off right now, dude.
They've
Some
been
people
tear
are setting off
gassed.
fireworks, but that was tear gas by the police or someone. And it's hold on. People are running in our direction, as you can imagine. So we're trying to get out of the way.
Wow.
This is social squalor and barbaric behavior.
Okay.
Wow.
I don't.
Wait, you're welcome. Okay. Can you guys still hear me back at the station?
We can hear you, Carlos. And
Unbelievable what's happening in this country, dude. What's happening in
Everyone
We're
out there, there's
thankful
some
that we're
people
here.
gathering around you. What are they saying?
No.
What's that?
This is awful. This is awful. This is terrible.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I'm really pissed, man. I'm really pissed, and this is I'm absolutely furious. This is awful. This is awful.
Oh, you're getting responses. Somebody redneck, white bread, blue collar responded to you.
Oh, did he respond again?
Yeah, triggered. He said you're triggered. He said if that hashtag starts trending, it will be because you obsessively posted it all over Twitter. Odd thing to obsess on, my man. But actually, it wasn't you. Both of us did. I hope Redneck tunes in. Did you send him the link? Yeah, I'm gonna send him.
He's a punk, man. He's a punk and a coward.
Whoa! Oh my God! There's like serious fireworks going off in my neighborhood. Whoa! That was scary. Whatever the hell that was.
Yeah. Wait, I got a call.
Yes. Hello, you're on with Brian and JP. What up?
Can you hear me?
Oh, it's you. I wanted that punk to call in.
Why you always
Pardon?
do that? Damn it!
I was hoping that punk was going to call in.
You can't hear us
I
because you have
told you
no
I was going to
fucking.
call in. I had to go out closer to the road.
I wonder if I can get in trouble for calling someone a punk and a coward on Twitter.
What's is
But
that?
he was a punk.
You're a coward.
Is that bullying? Are you bullying him?
Me?
You're a bully.
Listen, how can you say this? All right, let me ask you this: how can you say that this is not the left?
Angela's a bully.
It is not the left.
It is the left. It's the anti-racist left.
No, it's not. I mean, at least you should have your terms down. I mean, this is anarchy. They're wanting to overturn the system. Something completely
Listen, they
different.
learned everything from the anti-racist left.
Steal, loot, what have you. They're there too.
Wow. I'll be right back. There's some serious stuff going on in my neighborhood.
Are you okay? Guess he's got to check something.
Yeah.
But
So Joe's
organized
looking at
rally
the
for
neighborhood.
tomorrow in Tulsa.
Yeah. Yeah. So look at this. Look at this happening, and you know what? This kind of anarchy was spurred on by the anti-racist left. Okay, they have metastasized themselves.
About communists being anarchists, which they were, and they are, but you cannot say the left or the right.
It is this. This is the left. This is the left. They've controlled. They control. Yes.
Prove it
yes.
to me, Brian. Tell me
You
how
look. Look at the movies. Look at college campuses. Look at everything that's happening. All you got to do is look. I can't sit there and prove it. Look at what. Okay, we can't even talk about things in this country right now without it being called white supremacy. It's nonsense. Yeah.
Well, I don't think that's outrageous.
But this is awful, and actually, I don't know what's going on in Joe's neck of the woods. I think that I think some bad things are happening, and this is just awful.
We'll wait for him to come back. Maybe it's just some fireworks, teenagers.
Yeah. Yeah, who knows?
It's very easy to start a fire in California. I mean, if I was wanting to upset the system, that is exactly what I would do. But I wouldn't do it in the cities. I would do it close to the city.
This is awful.
And that's a bad thing. It's a bad thing.
You know what? I mean, this is awful. I mean, these people need to go to jail. We need to restore law and order. And this makes me want to leave California. This makes me want to leave the Los Angeles area. This is horrible.
You love Oklahoma. You really would. But
I might, you know what? I'd rather, you know what? At this point, even though I'm an atheist, I'd much rather have a conservative. A Christian red state than a blue state like this. This is terrible.
Well, there's lots of atheists in Oklahoma. I mean, you wouldn't be alone. I mean, every single town and district voted for the Republican president in the last, I think, 4 elections, presidential elections. You can't get more red than Oklahoma. You just can't.
Yeah,
it is very conservative. They're making an abortion illegal. I forget how they said it, but
this is awful.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even Idaho. I don't care.
I'm a little bit concerned about Tulsa. Like
at this point,
a rally for tomorrow. They had one today, and oh my Lord, that went bad, so quickly. They took over a highway, and a truck mowed down maybe 3 people. One's in the hospital. And
this is a byproduct of
Then they marched all the way to the mayor's house, his home, where he and his wife and their kids live. The people that did their rally today were militants, and just like they're saying things like, "We're not playing," and these are people that work in the mayor's office. They turned on him. They've been waiting for their moment for some time. But these are not the people that will be doing the rally tomorrow. It's to commemorate the Black Wall Street, the massacre that happened in 1921. It's the 99th anniversary. I think Tulsa might burn tomorrow. I hope not, but it's not looking good. In Oklahoma City, they're surrounding the Capitol now. Nashville, apparently, they're rioting. It's burning now. And let's see, Little Rock is being affected, which I was kind of surprised at. Arkansas is very white, but there's a lot of Black people in Little Rock, so maybe that's why. The people can only take so much, Brian, and this has been multi-generational.
Yeah.
Are you still there?
I'm still here, man. I'm you know what? I just tweeted to someone. I'm just
okay.
I'm so upset right now.
What can you do? What's something that you can do?
And this guy says, yeah, Ruben Goldberg says Antifa doesn't exist. I don't know. You know what? The only thing I can do is just say my piece. And I don't expect anything from the anti-racist left and those that are taken in by them. I expect the harshest of treatment, but somebody has to stand up to them. And this is the left. This is byproduct of the left. It is rooted in Marxism, and it's awful. It's awful. And we need law and order, and we need to shame these people.
Why do you shame them?
Because they're criminals, and they're inflicting pain. They're inflicting pain on the innocent.
Are they really innocent?
Yeah, you own a store, you're innocent. Let me ask you this. What did any of these store owners have to do with that police officer?
Don't get mad at me. I'm just asking.
I'm asking a question. What did any of these store owners have to do with that police officer? That, you know?
Well, then you're missing the point if you think it's about that one police officer. This is about a system of oppression, a system that's stacked against them. And when
that is
minorities.
You are making my point. That is anti-leftist rhetoric.
Did I say I agreed with it? But that it's about.
But Angela, that is from the anti-leftist playbook.
No, it's not.
It is. That's what that oppression, that systematic oppression, that white supremacy, that is the anti-racist left playbook. And it's perverted.
Well, if you want to believe that, then you believe that. But the fact is,
yeah, I believe it. We need to stand against it. And you know what? If we need to,
equal justice. Our country is founded on equal justice, right? Excuse me, right?
Equal protection under the law, and conservatives don't get that in this country.
Right, but people are fallible, so the system does not work. I don't even know what system would, to be honest.
Well, let me tell you something. Any of these people who think that there's no equal justice in this country, go live in another country. Show it to me in practice. I don't give a hoot what you say. Go show me a nation that has equal justice, the kind that you claim. Don't tell me in theory. Show it to me in practice.
Our country was founded on that. Equal justice. Read your Constitution.
Equal protection under the law.
Right, equal protection. The South Africa, that is social justice, what it's based on. And we see where that went.
That country's a load of crap. And you know why we can't talk about what's going on in South Africa? Because of the anti-racist left.
But not everything is due to the left. You know, if you're talking about the anti-racist, do you mean people that are against racism or people that are racist? Because sometimes people mean different things when they say that phrase.
I mean the people that exploit so-called racism, who over-dramatize it. Look, outliers exist. Who think that, look, bad cops exist. Bad mothers, bad fathers, bad teachers exist. Doesn't mean all of them are bad.
Mm-hmm.
Saying let's get rid of racism is like saying let's get rid of rape and murder. Those things are going to exist in a very narrow thing, and it's just an overreaction to it. It's just a support of mobocracy. And look, I'm at the point where I would like to, like if this is the majority of the way certain people are thinking, I want to join, I don't want to live in a leftist country that thinks like this. I want to separate the country off.
Different country. I mean, you have the money, or you will have the money again to do that.
You know what? I think there's a way of maybe peaceful separating, because you know what? The left and right don't get the left. Look, the left. I don't. The left doesn't get along with the right, the moderates, or even some of the liberals. There's no living with leftists. And if most people think in the left, and support this kind of thing, I don't want to live like that. I want to separate.
You're going to find that anywhere you go.
But I don't want it to be, you know what? I don't want it to be voted in. I don't want the politicians supporting it. And at this point, I'm looking at it and I'm saying, man, maybe we can make America kind of like the United Nations, where we, I'm just saying, we're like, we kind of break apart, because I am at this point, we don't get along. We don't get along. And
people can coexist and have vast differences.
We cannot coexist. No way. No way. If they think like this, we cannot coexist. We must, the only way for safety and peace is for us to kind of separate and have our own, maybe make America like
LA Metro just suspended service until 5:30 Sunday night. Oh no, 5:30 a.m. Sunday. So till
what do you mean by suspend service?
Can't get on the Metro bus.
Maybe make America, you know what? Maybe make America like the European Union, where we're kind of together, but we're separate.
Let them say it's peace.
Separate laws. I mean, I'm just saying, like
other cities too, JP.
I'm not sure. Yeah, of course, it's all over the place. We're here in LA, so we're just talking about what we see here.
Yeah. Well, like I was telling him before, Nashville is burning and they're looting. They're doing the same thing in Little Rock. Mm-hmm. Oklahoma City, they've surrounded the Capitol, the building, and then in Tulsa, I helped my young friend start a rally for tomorrow, but today they marched on the Tulsa mayor, his home, where his wife and children live. We're talking like maybe 2,000 or 3,000 people showed up because they wanted to have a meeting with him. It's just going to get worse. It's not going to get better. So
I tend to think,
and I know these people. I'm just like,
yeah,
I'm shocked.
I don't see it getting better right away. But it's hard to say. No. It's very hard to say, like, how all of this came together so fast, so hard today in LA.
It's shocked. Just like a pimple or a boil when it finally comes to a head.
Well,
it just explodes.
Here's the thing,
nasty,
Angela,
and it smells.
Here's the thing, Angela. That is very true in a lot of other states. Brian and I have seen it happen for years. And it amazes me because Brian and I have gone to gatherings here in Los Angeles, and it's very fractured. It takes something big to get people to get out and start rioting here in Los Angeles. And
well, look at your jails; they're overcrowded. Really, especially in Oklahoma, they are too. But
yeah, that's
LA County is really bad when it comes to that. That alone could bring people out.
Well, that's everywhere, right? I mean,
but not as bad as Oklahoma. And then LA County is another hot spot for overcrowding, for an unjust system, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Well, it's true. It's just the numbers. You can only unjustly treat a population for so long when they've tried everything. And maybe some people haven't, I'll give you that. But for the most part, like in Tulsa, they really have negotiations, panels, discussions. Yeah. What more can they do? Oh, it's so pretty outside. Lightning bugs.
Oh, nice.
It's really beautiful out tonight. No rain clouds. Woohoo! I'm excited. I might go swimming tomorrow. But I was telling Brian that I think he should leave California. He's not happy there. And it's only worse there.
With this kind of thought process, I'm not happy at all. I actually, you know what? I mean, these people, you know what? I'm just going to say this right now, dude. The left, in my opinion, is very, the anti-racist left, they have no empathy or no understanding. They just have ideology. And like I said, it's typical. Susie, I think, is Asian.
There's another store people are just walking right into. They just busted it open.
And this is typical, by the way, of people that who were like came here young and got educated by our leftist system. She's brainwashed, and they can just fall into this nonsense, this social justice nonsense. But let me tell you something: these people have no
right now. By the way,
the anti-racist left have no empathy or understanding. None. Zero. They're vicious, vindictive, and they are cruel.
Uh-oh. I see a woman in there. A woman just walked out with her arms full. Wow.
Of what? Of what?
It's hard to see what she has, but there's men. And
what store does she walk out of?
It's a store over there in Fairfax.
She said, your bubble will burst in November. You know what? Like I said, the same kind of anti-racist left, by the way, and this is, kind of a throughout the West, by the way, is the same kind of one that covered up all of the rapes in Rotherham, the grooming gang rapes. And that's why I say they have no empathy. That's why you can't talk about what's happening to whites in South Africa. They have no empathy, only ideology. And yeah, I'm angry. I'm very angry because you guys have gotten
in South Africa.
I get angry. You know what? I get angry because I'm being gaslit.
Addressed and is being
because it reminds you of a very painful
the regular
experience. I know why it makes you angry.
Weak white wing racist. You know what? That's just such a. Yeah, you know what? I'm angry. I'm furious.
Yeah, and you don't like that other people are being treated like that. I hear you. I hear your voice. I hear
this kind of thing.
Oh, I'm not trying.
This kind of thing can cause absolute poverty and this kind of destruction that people like Susie Q72, foment through their leftism, and kind of support through their leftism.
Susie,
you make it sound like it's a bad thing. Being on the left is not such a horrible thing.
Angela, please stop. That's like the most unpopular comment ever right now at this very moment. Yeah. Most of the country would disagree with that comment.
I disagree with you. I'm not hating on you. I'm disagreeing with you.
That's unusual. But yeah, that's we could disagree. I don't see it that way. And I'm not even like Brian hates. He has a genuine hatred for the left.
He does.
I have a hatred for both sides. I think both are assholes. I just don't like
either. That's true.
So the far rights are just as bad as the far lefts. But I would say nowadays I dislike the far lefts worse because they just keep double downing and making their shit worse and worse and worse. And it's always been bad to me. I just think they're both insane. Whatever, left and right. To me, it's
this is the revolution. The revolution is here because it always starts in violence. Name me a revolution that did not start in violence. Name one.
Well, how should we respond to violence? I think pacifism
Every revolution starts in violence. We should be more like France, where the government's afraid of the people.
Joining us now,
in France.
We have been in contact with Dr. Cheryl Grills to talk about the human toll and kind of give us a sense of what the why
here we go, Brian.
Why this has happened.
Look at this leftist.
Oh,
boy. A flashpoint.
Here you go.
I can smell the communism. I can smell the communism on her.
now. Can you talk to us about
take a deep whiff of this, Angela?
Kind of the elements of race relations and the experience of racism in this country that informs what this response.
Let's listen to this communist.
Here we go.
Thank you for inviting me to speak with you this evening. You know, these are very, very difficult and trying times for people of African ancestry in this country.
She supports the riots.
I can't hear it when you're
have
talking,
been
Brian.
essentially dealing with centuries of racial oppression.
Right, here we go.
We, our souls, our bodies,
so
our
hurt, we're gonna
minds
riot.
are under duress. We are in a broken social system and society.
Why is she reading a
And
script?
as Dr. King put it, in 1968, he did an address to the American Psychological Association. And he said, what has penetrated
she reading a
substantially
script?
all strata of Negro life.
Brian, why is she reading a script?
Let's hear what this communist has to say.
What this script says.
Are not holy or sacred, but in all too many respects,
look at her
are
eyes,
degenerate and profane. So essentially, what we're dealing with is a situation that is not righteous. It's not just. It has no empathy or compassion.
Yeah, you better take the cameras off
the
her.
Humanity of Black people.
She's terrible.
And in the midst of yet another assault and reminder that we are seen as less than human, we're then being.
Why is Dr. Cheryl Grills reading a frigging script? That's frustrating.
Well, Brian can read better than her.
That was frustrating, man. That was frustrating.
Can we hear some more of that garbage? I just want to induce more vomiting.
I would have people
this is pathetic.
Answer for me as I look at what's happening in the streets of Los Angeles and across this country is, what shall you have us do?
Don't listen to this woman.
While no one likes
America
will necessarily
people leave the place of their birth all the time.
Unrest that we are seeing right now, what would you have us do? What's the solution? Right?
Go away, lady.
Appeal to fairness, justice,
That's
and
what I
morality.
recommend.
We tried voting. We've tried
She's supporting political violence.
Litigation, done that. Legislation, done
Stop
that.
reading your script.
Nonviolent marches and protests.
Speak from your heart, Cheryl Grills.
We do a
Speak
lot of
from
that.
your heart.
Cry,
try
we've
it.
done even more of that.
Try it.
So where have these things gotten us?
Come on,
what would you
Cheryl
have
Grills.
us do? The broken social contract becomes too glaring, and the pot.
This is your left that you're promoting, Angela. Get out
Well,
of
I
here.
couldn't hear it. You kept interrupting
So
me.
we can no longer
Interrupted.
adjust ourselves to the dehumanizing and suffocating weight of racial oppression. What would you have us do?
I remember,
in other
remember
words,
when Colin Kaepernick, the now former NFL
rioting.
quarterback,
What else
career
should we
ended
do?
after this,
Wow.
pretty much, was
How is
taking
this
a
lady
knee,
on TV?
and he
Well,
was
if they're going to
roundly
overthrow the
criticized
system, then what are they going to replace
for
it
doing
with?
that. He would take a knee
No.
during the national anthem
You guys can complain, but you need
as
to
a
have answers
response
to
to
questions.
the way police
What are they going
officers
to
all too
replace
often
it
treat
with? What's the
African
most
American people.
likelihood?
He was
What are
criticized.
they
The
going to replace
president of
it
the
with?
United
It's going to
States
be a
called him an SOB.
dictatorship.
All right, hold on.
And,
How is our
and
Turn him off.
you know,
Turn him off.
So
Turn
but
him off.
we find ourselves in this situation where literally someone is knee
Hold on.
of a black man, and so how does what he did seem so terribly awful when you look at the way things have been going?
Well, what Kaepernick did wasn't awful at all. He was exercising the right that we're all supposed to have in this.
We're all given the right to freedom of speech. I mean, we can continue to listen, but this is the same leftist dribble. You know what? People need not okay. Any kind of Loyola Marymount, any kind of funding from Loyola Marymount, the psychology department, you need to defund it. You need not have it. This is trash.
Then
Garbage.
you need to be part of the committee who decides that.
You want to play some more of this crap?
Committee.
Right up the street from you, Brian.
There's some boys yelling in the background.
You want to listen to more of this garbage? You want to listen to more of this garbage that this woman is spouting?
You
This is
seem to
trash.
be enjoying it. I don't know why you're enjoying it. It's everything you don't like. What do you like, Brian?
Right now, man, I'm going to tell you what you know what I like? I like hard work.
Okay.
I like stability. You know what, man? You know how many people went up, built this country when they were up from sun up to sundown?
Well, we didn't have
how many people were, like during the Depression? How many of them were starving?
Ones that built this country.
What's that?
The Native nations. The six.
Everybody, all races built this country. Let me ask you this.
Modeled our government after theirs.
Okay.
So I guess it depends on how you look at it.
I look at it like this. If natives built this country, why didn't the natives in Brazil build Brazil the same way? Why didn't the black Africans in Brazil build America the same way the black Africans did here in America? Give me a break.
Because they're different nations.
That's right. They're different nations. They didn't. It wasn't just them that built it.
There's over 500 native nations in the United States. So you can't really compare them to nations from Africa or from South America.
Can we wait, hold on. I'm sorry to stop. Can we play more of this perverted talk? Just a little bit more.
You're really getting off to it, aren't you?
I am. You know what? I'm just exposing this leftist tripe.
In the year 2020,
this is an easy one to take down. Just watch this crap.
Which is why he likes
that we
it.
have now, and we don't learn from lessons, and that we can base and judge people just by the amount of melanin in their skin. How did we get to a place like this in 2020?
That's an excellent question. And I would suggest that we got here
anti-racist.
We never dealt with it. We have not dealt with America's original sin. We don't teach the truth about America. We don't help people to understand that we live in a racialized society.
Why?
And even though I'm a psychologist, I spend a considerable amount of my time studying history. Because if you study history, everything that's going on today, you see that it has its roots in our inability as a society to have the race conversation, and then to move beyond the conversation and do what needs to be done to equal the playing field. I would encourage folks, if you haven't read it already, a quick history lesson, go and read Frederick Douglass's autobiography.
There we go.
If you read that autobiography, you see everything that people are doing today in terms of their reactions described in his experience of enslavement in the United States back in that era. Literally everything that we're dealing with now, you see its precursors. So if we don't start telling the truth, if we don't start teaching our children the truth, if we don't start understanding what we don't know, if we don't realize that we are all bathing
all right, turn her off. I'm going to tell you what we need in this country.
Narrative.
I'm going to tell you what we need in this country. We need brutal honesty. Brutal honesty, hardcore debate. We don't get along. We don't get along in this country.
Do we have to?
You know what? It's you know what? There are, you know what? No, to a degree, no. But to this degree, to me, I feel like we need it, like there needs perhaps to be a divorce. This cannot stand. This kind of behavior cannot stand. These values are crap. There's no nobility with this garbage. And I'm sorry, folks, that I'm angry. But this is awful.
People seem to like it when you're at least a little bit angry.
Impassioned.
Yeah, impassioned. When we're talking about things that are not of heavy relevance, you tend to slack and not give a crap. But when it comes to matters that you feel passionate about, you're pure fire, and that's a good thing. I think people wait for these moments from you.
That woman, that privileged woman, just gave support, and she is what I am talking about, the anti-racist left. That woman, you know, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. She is a perfect example of the anti-racist left. And nobody wants to talk about it.
Perpetrated against people of African ancestry. It leads to discrimination against us in every arena of life, including policing and the use of deadly force.
Give me a country an example.
Emotional damage to Black folks. It deflects attention and energy away from the real work of social justice. Until we deal with that, you know, no matter what legislation we do, no matter what kind of litigation we do, no matter how many times
it's going to become South Africa. That looks like its future.
Deal with the racist mindset and how that informs our behaviors and how that informs our public policies.
This is awful. This is wrong.
Black and brown neighborhoods of color, how it reinforces poverty and the oppressive conditions within which people have to live. And then when people
subsidizing out of wedlock births makes for poverty. It makes social squalor and barbarity.
Then we turn and point the finger and say, what's wrong with you? And this is unacceptable behavior. Well, what America has done is unacceptable behavior. When are we going to hold it accountable?
This person is in charge. This person is in charge of a classroom, and she is teaching students.
Take place, and that requires change. Doesn't that require an admission of wrongdoing by those who may not want to admit that? People who are of goodwill, who will not be willing.
This is the mainstream media. This guy is supporting this kind of garbage. This is why the anti-racist left is trash.
Nothing changes.
I'm almost fucking crying right. God,
it does involve an admission.
Here's a comment for you.
One could argue, well, the United States did
Mr.
make
Midnight Movie. I truly believe. Wait, what's it say here? I truly believe this will end the gentrification of our cities that we have seen in the 21st century. I think this is going to change a lot of things, and I've been screaming it since before as the pandemic hit. Brian, these are the changes that I was talking about that are going to be slamming us, hitting us in the head.
These people have to be resisted. The left must be resisted. Doesn't matter whether you're for Trump or not. The left, the anti-racist left, in my opinion, must be challenged head on. Head on. They're wrong. They're immoral and they're wrong. They're awful people. They have no empathy. And when she said empathy, they have no empathy. They are vindictive and they are cruel. And they need to be challenged head on. What are you going to do? Kill me? We're already going to starve because of your garbage. This is trash. You want to get something to eat? Too bad. It's been burned down.
Well, you need to cook more.
You should cook.
What if the grocery stores are burned down too? Starve.
Go get some steaks now.
You know, and
meat's really bad for you. You should.
Here's the deal. Chase Bank just said, "Hey, man, we need people to get back to work. We're holding things together by a thread." This is bad, man. And you know what? I'm furious. I'm furious right now at the powers that be because they support this nonsense and they're not challenged enough. And the conservatives, you conservatives, have done nothing to
It took
challenge
us
them.
400 years to get to this spot. We're not gonna. We're
not 400 years old. That's not true.
1 year,
Society's
even
just
a
for
decade.
time, lady.
Unless we start making some of these substantive changes, unless we make the police part of who we are, not outsiders who are policing us in the same fashion that Black folks were policed during enslavement, we're going to be back here.
This woman is perverse.
2 or 3.
She's got a perverted mindset.
Logical and solution that, you know, it's a start. And it's not enough to say, I'm not a racist. You have to be an anti-racist.
Hey,
you know,
yes. They
you
stole
can't
our
just sit back
slogan
anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Dr. Cheryl
Is that
Grills,
the
Lowell
lady with
Marymount
glasses?
University. Thank you very much for talking to us, giving us more of the.
Did you hear what she just said?
Anti-racist left.
She basically said anyone could be
It's
racist.
the woman in red that said it.
Yep.
Garbage.
We said it
Trash.
first.
Garbage. Trash.
About 3:30.
Communism.
Covering these
Marxism.
going on throughout the city.
Trash.
Mainly the Fairfax district. We've covered the Beverly Hills area, some in downtown, but it has been an ongoing thing. And now there is a curfew that
Marxism.
and
Communism.
are quieting down a bit, but there's still a lot going on out there,
including a fire. Let's get now to Chris Christie. He can tell us where he is and what is burning. Chris.
Yeah, this is a new fire, Mark and Ellen. You can see this is going to be the corner of Melrose and Stanley Avenue, LA City Fire, with a presence here in the process of putting the fire out, but it's rather large. It looks like it definitely had some time to burn. We're looking for any police presence as well or any sign of looters, but there was reports of looters coming through here and starting these fires and running away with whatever they can get their hands on. So I am not exactly sure which business this is. I'm trying to figure it out, but it's very difficult because of the smoke. It's at least one storefront in from Stanley, and I can't tell if it's just one business or multiple businesses, but there is a lot of black smoke coming from this building. So you can see firefighters still just pulling up here, trying to get some water on this fire. Hopefully they can get a handle on it.
Yeah, that certainly has grown in the last few minutes. While we stay on that picture, we want to tell you something from the LAPD. The LAPD saying that protesters who are arrested will be bused to either Van Nuys or downtown LA. They will be booked, then released. They will have documentation, so they are not rearrested due to the curfew, but they must go straight home. And this is from this is also a note from Sheriff McDonald. They do get a copy of their arrest sheet with a property receipt for.
Hold on a second here. Who's this bitch saying not to interrupt somebody?
My friend just got arrested. Hold on.
Darren, you're a piece of shit.
Wow.
Call in here if you got a problem.
I'm
gonna stop mind. If I said 2 words, he'd say shut up. It's just crazy. If you don't like it, get the hell out of here.
Let me look at what he hasn't said that much. But let me, you know what? Oh my God. I'm looking at my Facebook feed. Yes. And this is awful.
All right.
Protesters burned a man alive.
Not far.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, I was reading something. It was really funny.
All right, go ahead.
There's no call for this crap.
What was so funny?
You know, I was talking about the Tulsa mayor and how the protesters had walked to his home and he wasn't there. Apparently he was at SpaceX watching the liftoff and he was still there. So funny.
He's still there, huh?
Mm-hmm. Well, down there wherever they did liftoff, and Jim Bridenstine, I think he's over NASA. He had been a former senator of ours, and I just find it funny while all these thousands of people were marching to his home, and they're mad, they're angry, they're sweating, and he's having the time of his life. I find that funny, ironic.
Wow. I think it was Cape Canaveral where they took off. No?
I don't know. I don't think it is because it's SpaceX.
Yes. NASA let them.
Fuck, man. I'm.
All right, are you ready, dude? You want to end this, or you want to keep going? You're doing pretty good.
You guys are live right now?
We are live, yes.
Been live, yes.
Oh, man, I was interrupting Brian earlier. I'm sorry, Brian. So,
I'm just, you know, I got to be honest, man. I'm absolutely furious.
Never again.
And you know what, dude? You know what? I mean, I don't know what the left is going to do.
I'm so sorry.
But they have too much power.
It's all good.
There has to be pushback. There has to be pushback.
Maybe we should just get you a houseboat, and then that way you don't have to live on land at all.
I have the right. You know what? I have the right to this land. I have the right to this land. My family worked hard for it, and I have the right to defend it. This is outrageous. These people
defend it?
You know what? God damn it! These people have a right to their property.
Mm-hmm.
No one has the right to loot things like this. This kind of criminality is wrong. I don't want to fucking hear, hey man, 400 years, this is bullshit. It's bullshit.
Why is it bullshit? Tell me why.
Because people have a right to their property without it being robbed.
Even if they built that property on the backs of slaves.
Bullshit.
Oh,
slavery ended over 100 years ago. Bullshit. These people that have these stores had nothing to do with slavery. Bullshit. Bullshit. Slavery was a worldwide institution done by every fucking group. Bullshit.
Would you say the white man is now a slave? Would you say that it's true?
Nobody's a slave. Not the white man, not the black man. Nobody's a fucking slave today in America. You're fucking free.
Really?
I disagree with that wholeheartedly.
You're fucking free. You're free to go. You're free to start. You're free to do whatever. Sorry I'm swearing, folks, but you know what? And this may be struck down by YouTube, but I'm pissed. This is crap. This is garbage. These writers are scum.
Specifically.
You're robbing stuff that people took years to work for. People who had their own, some of these people fucking came from other countries and built this shit with their own two hands. Worked night and day for it.
The people that were already here. You act like that.
Dude, listen, man.
Covered this land, and
you know what? Listen, conquest. Everybody did it. Let me tell you something. That's no excuse for that kind of behavior.
Well, now you're going to get conquered. How about that, Brian?
Let them try and do it. But don't fucking let them in and support it. Pick up a gun and do it.
What would the world look like with the white man being conquered?
Let him try it.
What's it look like?
Let him try it. Should I take it? How should I respond? Let me ask you a question, Angela. How should I respond to it? You want to conquer me? How should I respond?
Oh, I didn't say I wanted to. I'm saying...
Anyone wants to conquer me? How should I respond to that?
How do you think the world's going to look? And how do you think history is?
How should I respond to anyone wanting to conquer me or take back from me? These people spent years. I bet some of these people spent years. Investors put money into this stuff, and to see it destroyed, I'm pissed, man.
Okay. What else?
This is awful, man. This is so un-American. This is so bad.
You're angry?
I'm absolutely angry.
Are you sad to not have the opportunity?
I have both anger and sadness. I have both anger and sadness because you know what, man? The media is fueling this garbage.
Mm-hmm.
And we're seeing people commit willingly.
What about the people with YouTube and all the different social platforms?
hey, we're canceled. I mean, we're completely canceled. Any pushback on this, the social media giants canceled them. All the social justice people who got made, I mean, all the red pill people who pushed back on the social justice nonsense got canceled. And this is the byproduct of it. This is garbage. You don't steal something and rob something that someone has, worked probably from sun up to sundown. Some of these people, man, I mean, like, some of them maybe get up at 4 a.m. to get to the shop at 5 to make sure it's done. Some people have spent their life savings on some of these businesses, and they're losing it because of this pandemic, and now they got this garbage.
Well, what if it was an earthquake and a fire happened? Wouldn't it just be the same?
If a fire just happened, but that's not what's going on. These are criminals.
Yeah, are you kidding me, Angela? How dare you compare?
These are criminals, man. These are criminals.
It's not an earthquake that the American people created.
Get out
and
of
with
here.
earthquakes can come a fire.
Well, I tend to agree with you on a level there. I'm not fully convinced on about how earthquakes
And I'm not
actually
trying
happen.
to be mean.
No, earthquakes. Earthquakes are a question mark in my book. So I tend to agree with that on a strange level, but I can't compare the two issues, though. I mean, this lady. Well, maybe I could. This lady coming on and
let's see what this lady in the mask is saying. Let's see what this lady in the mask is saying.
Awful. Okay, it shouldn't have been there. And it shouldn't have been promoted by local news stations.
I saw it myself. Some of the protesters were not that peaceful, that were throwing rocks and bottles to initiate. So that is part of why the reaction comes, is it not?
Yeah, it's it's not. But one thing that I absolutely want to say is that there is a group of angels out here. There is a group of angels. They are Caucasian and they are out doing extractions. They are coming in and they are barricading us from the police, from the bullets, and they are offering rides to people, free rides. They're letting us come into their cars. A stranger got us out, and now we're out here to get other people out. We have our car nearby, and we're just trying to save lives and keep people out of jail. Coronavirus is here. We don't want anybody else to get sick.
Can you tell me what's your first and last name?
I'm Jane Doe.
Where are you from, Jane?
I'm from Los Angeles. I actually was born in Los Angeles, California.
It's part of this. Does this not?
Give me your name, lady.
Communist. Your heart in a way, though, to see this much damage kind of throughout the area, that this is what it's taking.
Listen, it breaks my heart every day that I have to be afraid for my little brother, and I have to be afraid for my nephew. That breaks my heart. Right now, we're controlling the situation.
All right, there we go, man. This is the left teaching. This is crap. Get out of it. We need to separate. We need to.
So how do we really change?
Everyone's a victim.
How do we make a difference?
Ego victim crap.
It's because you know how many people don't know who George Floyd is? So many people know the guy with the knee on his neck. They don't know his name. We have to let them know the story. If you know the story, you'll know his name. If you know his name, then you'll know that it's wrong. And if you know it's wrong, then you'll stop. Or
how about the 5-year-old that was thrown off the balcony in Minneapolis, in the Minneapolis Mall? You're so full of crap.
Maybe zip tied, but he'd be alive. And I can't sit at home right now and stay there watching all of this on the news and not help, because I'm able-bodied. I have no children. I'm not married. I'm able-bodied, and I'm suffering. And everybody else is suffering. It's my duty
to
protect us.
Leftist, give your name.
Jane, I really do. Thank you for taking the
Jane,
time. Be safe tonight. Thank you. One of the protesters out here making her voice heard tonight, making sure.
Whew. I got another stream I'm going to play in a moment. Just at home. Got another stream coming
I'm furious. I'm furious, man.
Going to get a different angle here. So we've been watching mostly ABC. We'll get a little bit of
these people. Like I said, man, these people work there. These people across this country that work their fingers to the bone. Some of them. to build a business. Some people invested, to save money and invest in a business. And having it torn down the way it is, it's God. I'm angry. This is wrong. This is awful. You people are scum. You're commie scum. Burning stuff down. Are you kidding me? I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this crap.
Brian, I'm noticing that it just sounds like possibly you think you're the only one feeling this outrage.
You know what? Their outrage is misplaced. I've never thought that I ever had the right, that human beings think that they have the right
about how she fears
to rob and loot a store because a police officer acted inappropriately. Does that mean all police officers? Give me a break. It's not true. And it's based on false information.
False information.
The FBI has done studies about police bias. It's not true. It's a lie. They've done extensive studies on this. It's a lie. It's a lie.
But it's the truth.
No, it's a fucking lie. It's a fucking lie.
What happens when you find out you're not right?
I'll blow my head off.
No, don't say that.
I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. Listen, man, I'm pissed. This is a lie. Look. You know what? I disagree with you, Wayne. They're not all corrupt. This behavior is wrong. You know what? And if you want to fight the police, fight the police. Don't rob stores. It's wrong.
It's not all the police.
Our food and shit comes from stores.
Talk it out, Brian, because you're going to get a knock at your door pretty soon.
Why is that?
Because you're fucking loud.
I'm sorry. Our food comes.
I have nothing against that, but it's
our food. Here's the deal. Our food comes from stores.
Our food comes from the farms.
They come from stores.
Farms,
and you know what? We go and pick it out at stores. Yeah, it comes from farms too. But if there's no stores to put it in, what are we going to do? What are we going to do?
Get vegetables. I'm resourceful. You guys got plenty of acres of food in California. Why can't you just go get some yourself?
Wrong. When you lived in Los Angeles, Joe, did you have a place where you could you were an apartment? A lot of people are apartment dwellers. This is outrageous. You don't burn down things. You don't do it. That is nonsense. These people are wrong. Listen, Angela, I'm going to say this.
You can have someone.
Listen, hold on, Brian. Before you do get into it, you got to consider where Angela lives. She's not impacted the way we are here in Los Angeles. There's a lot of land.
About
your city is nothing like Los Angeles as far as having like the way it's built. You have more land, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, you got tons of land.
Yeah, there's a lot more land.
There's a lake right there.
Yeah, tons of space to roam. But in a big market city like Los Angeles, people have an idea. Smog. They have smog, but they also have the feeling that there is there's not enough land. It's very restrictive. Some of the cities are tapped out on building. You can't build there anymore. There's no more room. But that's just in this little area we call Los Angeles.
Why would you stay there?
That's a good point. A lot of people don't. We've kind of mustered it. We've stayed we've weathered the storm here in Los Angeles. Probably too long. Yeah, North
You know,
Hollywood's
you
not
went
bad.
to a lake, JP. You went to a lake. Was it last year or the year before last? You guys were thinking about getting a summer place there.
Yeah,
Have you
Michigan.
guys thought about just moving? I forget where it was.
That'll
Lake
happen.
Michigan, I think it was.
Yeah, it's going to be in. Yeah, well, I'll get a place in northern Michigan probably one day.
Uh-huh.
I don't even know. There's so many places. I'm going to Louisiana soon. I'm going to check out Louisiana. So
it's very poor down there. The way they have the royalties for the oil, it doesn't benefit the citizens.
People are nice, though. There are some nice people there. So,
but poor.
But I'm going to go check it out for myself.
Well, have fun. I mean, it is a beautiful place.
Oh yeah.
I have family down there.
Nice.
Chef, a lot of chefs in my family.
Hey, Brian, are you able to end the episode if you need to end it?
Yeah, I can do it. And maybe I'll just do it
now. Hey, Brian, before we part.
I just want to say this. Angela, do you support what's going on right now?
Well, it depends on what city. I don't like how aggressive and frightening some people can be. I run into a lot of surprises I didn't think I would. And tomorrow will tell me more, especially about sulfur. So we'll see how bad it gets there. But I have some concerns that I think some issues need to be addressed when it comes to social justice, the prison system, the system overall. I think it needs to be overhauled.
Well,
that's my
need
thought.
Well, don't worry about it. That's what we're doing right now. This is a global economic reset. That means our fiat money is being changed. I don't care how it's being accounted for. When we return fully back to business, and we're not out. Why do you think we're seeing this back to back nonsense?
Anti-racist.
Commerce is not ready to open yet. The system is being rolled out. I'm convinced of it, and so things are changing. How? I'm not sure. I do know this.
Well, the second wave is sure to come. The COVID, that's going to happen.
I do say this: the day that we, as a society, accept cryptocurrency as our only form of currency or as our primary source of currency, will be the day of greatest freedom. It'll be our greatest loss of freedom ever. That's just my thought.
No, America.
I want to end on that. Okay. Let me. We'll end on this, and I'll call it this.
You can keep going if you want. There's still people listening, and
yeah. Well, I'll end on this, Joe.
Dead by now.
Okay, and Angela, do you want to say something before I end it and tie it up with a nice little bow here?
We need to be careful with our comments on social media because there's so many people taking a screenshot and saying this. I can't believe he or she said that. Now, maybe they're on the left. Maybe they're on the right. Maybe they're just wrong. Maybe they're right. We need to be more careful with how we say things and to who we say things. And it hopefully blows over. Concluded. Thank you.
Thank you. You know what? Thank you for joining us. And I just want to say, in my opinion, this is a byproduct of years of the anti-racist left. Basically, poisoning the minds of many people for years and going unchallenged. When they finally, the mainstream media was the one who bought into this, and it never got challenged, or really never challenged. And then when social media came about, people with brains began to challenge this anti-racist left narrative. And what did all these businesses do that are metastasized with the anti-racist left? They began to shut things down. And this is a byproduct of the anti-racist left, out of wedlock births. And it's about time that, folks, we have some brutal honesty. This is dishonorable. And well, you know what? The human capital that is being raised off of this anti-racist left is nothing but garbage. You cannot build a society like this. This is garbage. These people are out here and they think it's fun, but it won't be fun when there's starvation happening, because this is what's next. If you continue this behavior, hey, no food on the shelves, and then we got to go, look other places. And the people that are going to be really hurt are some of the disabled people who depend on some of these grocery stores and other things. This is a very selfish act. And I'm very angry at this, because a lot of people are going to be hurt because of it. And people who are sitting there with lofty sayings and stuff aren't seeing the real damage that this causes. You who are supporting it are very selfish. Like and subscribe and join the fight, because without brutal honesty and thoughtfulness, we're not going to get anywhere. But hard work wins, and this is crap. This is just garbage. Joe, anything else?
No, man, that's it. I think you did a good job. Are you sure you want to end it? There's people out there want to hear you keep ranting.
I don't want to. You know what? I don't want to rant anymore. I'm done. I'm done ranting. I'm pissed off.
You've showed a lot of stamina tonight, though.
Well, thank you. I've been fasting, and this will be. You know what? And I didn't do my Stoic calm. I just had to let it out today. Good. I think this is, watching this, and you know what? I mean, when you know how many people like the work and stuff that people do, and that labor and stuff that it takes to build a business, and I certainly have never had it, but I've worked enough, and I've worked with people who own private businesses before, and how hard they have to work, and I've worked hard, and it just gets inside my soul to see this kind of thing happening. It does bother me, and I see no good happening from this kind of stuff. So like and subscribe, but I'm done.
All right, man. Join us again. And thank you, Mr. White. Rube Goldberg Machine. Awesome post tonight.
Goldberg, it's cool. I like that one.
There we go.
Darren's awesome, making some good comments.
I love Darren. Isn't he the nicest?
No, he's wrong all the time, but I like that he's here and supportive. And APOC is a poopy head.
Yes.
And there's many others out there.
He's been behaving badly.
Even you, Susie, who got called out on one of our shows recently.
Is she even here? I think she left. I was angry. I don't want to hear this crap. This is garbage.
To her stomach the other night. You be nice.
What did it? Wait. Say it again. I what to her stomach?
She was sick to her stomach. I'm sorry, my tongue is really sick right now. Sick to her stomach, and for you to be nice to her.
You're good.
She hasn't been feeling good.
Well, I'm sorry she doesn't feel good, but she should stop being a leftist.
We're a good shot.
All right, we gonna end it, Joe?
Yeah, let's end it here. All right.
We talked about the two buses.
Who is this douche? Hold on.
Buses, which will take these guys to jail. We've had, trying to think how many I've counted here. We've had dozens. Let's just say that. There have been dozens that have been essentially booked. They've been cuffed with these zip ties, and they've been taken onto these buses here. There's two of them right now. You're looking at this guy right here, one of the protesters, giving the nod. This person they've been dealing with for probably 10, 15 minutes for whatever reason, but it seems like down the way, a lot of that has broken up. And let me just say, the tensions have eased tremendously at this point. Almost a sigh of relief.
There you go.
For a lot of these officers.
Darren always, I'm convinced Darren is always looking for like the end of the world. He wants to see the world burn down tonight. He wants everybody to get COVID. I'm convinced Darren just wants to die. So Good night. Just stop it, Darren. All right.